I challenge you to a dance-off. Hands off, no trash talk, no backwalk. On the black top, just me, you, that's all.
Hey guys, welcome back to Clash with Barndo. You see here, FPC Down Under versus War Aussies. Now this was a special war, 30 versus 30, 65 to 62. All Town Hall 11s, coordinated from Weggs at Aussie Crusher. Fairly certain that's correct. 4 Horts, late at night. And it was amazing. He got everyone together in the ACA. We got 30 versus 30 on the table. Drew some extra resources. I think looking at the clan listing, there was something like 18 clans within. So all of the ACA was represented. And we'll go through some of the stats here. You can see lots of fails. There wasn't a lot of 3-stars. We had a total of 7 3-stars. Unfortunately, 4 of those were on bases that were 0.5s, not changed. People not used to the format, maybe possibly haven't even done organised scrims before, and they had some bases up without eagles, or even one had no eagle or infernos. So free 3-stars, we just took it as it went. Done in a friendly spirit, you know. It was awesome fun. We coined it FPC Down Under as East Side, as because they were on the east side, the right side of the roster. So it was east side versus west side, and east side the 3-star win. What I'm going to do is show the 3 best attacks from Down Under, and I'll show the best attack from War Aussie. So let's do them in order of where they came out. Where are we? There was a hit from 21. Griff, this really impressed me. This was the 3rd hit of the war. We had a 97 and a 98% 2-star before this, but this was a fresh hit, and absolutely amazing to jump on and see this, and you go, wow, good plan. Drops down Jimmy Bob, uses that as a tank, doesn't use a golem, so drops that down, gets that rage once Jimmy's out of the rage spell. Unfortunately, the rage not put in a position where it's benefited the queen at all. So possibly could have used that a bit better, but Jimmy goes through. He tanks for a long time. What was really cool about this was the fact that the queen, she could have gone to the wizard tower and wouldn't have got as much value, but she actually kicked around and kept going, and that meant she got into the expo. Jimmy's still tanking like a champ, and you can see him going through there. Expo's down, so that's going to get most of the damage, and the queen isn't going to take much for a little bit, and gets those dragons down, big boy dragons. Eagle has starting to fire, of course, but the queen's still going through. She's not being targeted from that archer tower, so that means she's holding all of that extra damage. Gets that expo down before it gets, the air defense down before it gets a shot off. So all 4 air defenses from the king and queen, a few baby dragons in a rage spell. Absolutely massive value. So Warden thrown in with the dragons. You can see them going through, having to fight into the blow is a little bit annoying. Gets that clone out, all on loons. A shitload of loons on the floor. There's about 14 loons or something like that. Unfortunately, only 1 loon shooting that eagle in midfield there. CC goes down, enemy queen goes down, and you can see now it's just a matter of time. The enemy queen still alive. Absolutely huge. Up until the end there, of course, the Inferno says you will not pass. But brilliant raid. Great to see a different base. And oh, look at the troll heat seeker on the side there. Different base, but 4 air defenses with a hero kill squad. Absolutely massive. Now we'll have a look at number 25. This was Hody. Not actually sure what clan Hody comes from. If someone can chuck that down in the comments for me, that'd be cool to know. But Hody goes in. What was funny with this base was you could see it was designed as a bit of a troll base. 2 singles, probably not the best thing for 11v11. Now all the giant bombs are down this side. This was actually a re-hit base. Giant bombs were all down there, along with a couple of skeleton traps. And the CC was a free draw clan castle. So anything you could have put down, 1 minion, 1 a barbarian, and drawn what was in that. So it goes for a queen walk early into a bitch core. Must be a golem in the clan castle. I'm pretty sure it was. Love the new effects and the new animation of those golems. So really what I wanted to see, I was looking at this base, I was thinking, what if you put a rage and some skeleton spells in that midfield there? Nothing's going to hit it. You can see nothing's going to actually hit that. There was no Teslas in there. We know where all the Teslas, they're out the front of the base. So a skeleton spell rage in there just would have been absolutely huge, and you could have just ignored that jump and just had the kill squad just run around the other side. It would have been cool. But goes with the jump option. And it was interesting to watch this because good rage effect there, good ward and eternal tome. And you can see now a good group of bowlers go into the midfield. They're under rage. They're going to do some serious damage to that single. And you can see the eagle goes down as well. But unfortunately, the bowler's turning towards the town hall. Out comes the clan castle. Didn't even bother to take that until he hit into it. So that was good because the poison gets full effect. So you can see skeletons in the end from the witches being summoned, actually taking out that single. So then out comes all the troll traps. And you can see old Jimmy Bob's running along the outside there like a loner, all by himself, just popping things away. But you can see the healers also moving around. Regenerative DPS, witches, healers. So when shit doesn't die, it gets regenerated up, and then the skeletons are running in front as tanks. Warden on full health, Queen on full health. Old Jimmy Bob bites the dust, and not much left there. So I think there was about 10 seconds left in the raid, so it was still a bit of time. So good concept. We got that down fairly early in the war. I think that was on its second hit. I don't think it survived more than 2. So it was hit and then 3-starred. Now, that was a 0.5, I believe. Papa Des. No, we've seen that. It's late at night. You'll have to forgive me. Number 18, that's what I'm looking for. Normally I have them written down, but I don't have me pen on me either. It's all coordinated. This was a fresh hit from myself. Gone in with a Queen Walk Hog. And pretty cool raid. I did a bit of an analysis on it for a strategy that I've been running through. And really enjoyable raid, fun, fresh hit. Anytime you get a fresh hit, you've got to be pretty happy. It's a bit of a common base. Has been out, bit of an internet base really. You can see the hog sent there as a bit of a tank for those wall breakers. CC drawn early, out goes the prep rage to make sure there. You can see as well now that that baby dragon's put out for a dual effect to be the tank for that archer tower, and then also cleanups to make sure that turns your queen inside. So those 3 loons guaranteed to get in. Only needed 2, but as a fresh hit you need to put that 3rd out in case there's a trap there, and if that trap stops the effect and you lose that herding. Now, could have put the rage down a second or 2 earlier. That would have actually saved my queen having to use her queen ability from her having that extra damage. She was about a second off, and that would have been such huge value if it had saved a hold of the ability. You can see old Jimmy Bob thrown down with the warden, couple wizards, and even 1 giant, and the hog straight after, because you want the enemy king onto Jimmy, and then the warden was really cool about it. He said, yeah, no, not interested in Jimmy, and swaps over to the hogs. That was a hope, and it worked really, really well. You can see, put the first heal down to be able to make sure eat that eagle and get into the second heal. The warden's still going through there. End up using that ability, so then that way we don't need to get that 3rd heal. Now that freeze, that was a bit of an oh shit moment. Wanted to take a fair bit of damage off of that queen if I could. Didn't think about it in correlation to where the healers were going to go afterwards, and also there was a massive pack of hogs there, so if I had that freeze, then it obviously would have gone on to the Inferno, gone on to those Teslas, saved a whole lot of damage on those hogs. But because there was so many hogs left and 3 healers, you can see now them coming through. There is bloody 3 skeleton spells there on ground, and that giant bomb at the end. So, yeah, pretty cool, pretty happy with that. Did have his 47% 0-star afterwards, so looked good in 1 hit, looked absolutely dog shit in the next. It was it was one of those wars. Now I'm going to show an attack on the War Aussie side. So they only got the 3 stars on the 0.5 base, unfortunately. There was a lot of 80 to 90% raids, but this was probably the best one. Ping Pong. Oh, I'm trying to think of where Ping Pong comes from. Is it Aussie Resistance, I think, taking on Big Mac. Big Mac's just come into the system a little bit recently in the last couple of days. Tasmanian trying to get himself in a competitive clash, and you can see only a level 30 queen, level 24 Jimmy Bob. So still got a lot of work to do, but snuck himself into the war. got a good base design out. You see it's kind of like a donut, but these Infernos are pretty cool. I like the positioning of those, and use a good mixed CC just to make sure it's not lava looned out too easily. Hard, it's not a simple draw CC, not super hard, but you can see Ping Pong going in with a minor raid. So Queen Walk into minors. Make sure he gets the clan castle. Probably should have thought of where old Jimmy Bob was going to be used in the meantime. A little bit slow on getting into his second phase, Jimmy. Like that rage was really well timed. Probably didn't need the ability at that stage. Might have been part of the reason why he didn't end up getting the 3-star as well. Because he had that rage effect in there. And the Queen was up to about half life. So this is the other thing you sort of see is... didn't really herd well for the miners where they were going, but because the Queen's cut through and into the midfield, those miners just track around nicely. They'll trigger into that Inferno. Very lucky there wasn't any ground expos on that Inferno, but those miners, they get that full effect out of that ward, and the Queen, she's just sitting in midfield, unfortunately does not reach that eagle in the midfield there, so that keeps pounding away and saying, how you going? What was an interesting effect was I hadn't noticed this before, but Eagle Artilleries target your miners whilst they're digging towards the next target. No matter how far it is, it'll target them. So that was an effect I only noticed about 2 weeks ago for the first time. And you can see that Eagle just causing those dramas there. Still pounding away, getting things down. And you can see it runs out of juice in the end, that Eagle doing the damage. So unfortunately couldn't get that Eagle down and that second Inferno. But great raid, Ping Pong. Like I said, enough praise cannot be given to Weggs to organise 18 different clans, people changing, being in the rosters, all those kinds of things, last minute pulling out. We had a couple of subs available to each team. There was some great little raids. There was a lot of friendly challenges going on. There was a bit of trash talk. And it was really good fun overall. So we'll just go through some of the stats. You see 9 hits on Big Mac there. So the base held well, lots of different styles. 5 on the Baba Ganoush. Anyone else get a big pounding? Old Timmy took a few. And how many did I take? Just a 2 on me. Weggs had a bit of a crack at me. Unfortunately couldn't crack the barn dog. Now you see there attacks. Achilles had he knocked out one of the 0.5s, and then unlucky on his second attack on Baba Ganoush. And you can see twos. They got all of their 2-stars out nice and early, so they knocked everything on the head. They just didn't come out with massive plans from there. 5 hits on Chauncey, Dynamo 97%, just missed his lava loon at the end of it there. 4 attacks on Tricky Mick. 4 attacks on Lay Robbo, and 4 attacks on Zwells. So the Zwells had a good base. It was a good anti-2, anti-3 base. So overall, really enjoyable war. Hope to see more of these in future. And even getting out 10v10 wars within the Aussie Clan Alliance. And also then maybe start getting some challenges of 50v50s versus some regional clans. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed and clash on.
Yeah, where you from? Who the ball? I'ma break it off. Yeah, where you from? Who the ball? Motherfucker, I'm a monster in this game, similar to the